Many times in life, what people meant to destroy you, it actually blesses you. And people don't even really know that. They just feel like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Not knowing that you alchemize. Many of you know how to do that, and you understand when things become challenging in life. You know, it could even be word spells that people try to place over your life. Certain things that people say to you that are close to you, they think it's something small, but it's actually something very or that could be very detrimental to your future. So, yes, words are spells, and dependent on how sensitive you are in that moment and how much you care, it's either these words that people tell you will motivate you or tear you down. So this is why it's also important for you to be mindful of the words you speak to others, because you have the same power as everybody else with a tongue. You can speak life, try your best not to speak death, because I heard where death is spoken the most is where death feels welcome. Now, there's two types of death. It could be rebirth, or it could be like physical death, right? Okay. And so, hold on, I was catching a wave. Wait a minute. Because I'm seeing two different paths to go down now. I have to choose one. The death that I speak of that is harmful is the one that will destroy someone's hopes and dreams that they have for themselves. Because our hopes and dreams are our connection to God. Our imagination is our connection to the cosmos. So when you're using your imagination wisely and you're creating ideas and you're coming up with new concepts and you share them with someone that doesn't necessarily understand that way of thinking because they haven't gotten to that point yet on their journey, they can cause you to stray away from such an amazing idea that you have, because they'll shoot it down and they'll say something negative like, oh, that's not going to work. Not unless you are bold enough to still share and not care what anybody thinks. And that's a good place to be, because you can listen. You can listen out for who really is down for you. So if you're bold enough to not care what people say when it comes to ideas and concepts that you have and just your point of view, you'll know who you can actually talk to about deep things and who you can't speak to about deep things. There's certain people in your life that they really can't go anywhere because they can be your family members, you know? So it's like certain people that are never really actually going to leave you completely. You must know how to deal with them. And you also must know how to protect yourself from unnecessary stress and discomfort when it's unnecessary. Okay, so you'll notice in life, and I'm sure many of you have noticed, there's just certain things you just can't tell certain people, because if they don't have that mind that can align with your thoughts in that moment, they're quick to shoot it down because they don't see what you see, and they don't have the analytics mentally to be able to vibe out with you on that level. They can't, because they're not there yet. So it's crazy how individuals who are not even where you are mentally can still have the power to break you down if you don't know any better. And that's just crazy, because the things that you're thinking, many times they're amazing ideas and thoughts. However, if you're speaking to someone who is not on that level mentally or spiritually, they'll make it as if everything that comes out your mouth when you start speaking is nonsense. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you know how to handle criticism and don't take it to heart. You must detach yourself away from the criticism. You can analyze it and see if anything that was said could be helpful to improve you as a person without taking it to heart and feeling very discouraged. Usually people who feel really discouraged are people that had to deal with bullying a lot, and anytime they hear something that is like against them, they cower, and it makes it very difficult for them to embrace a listening ear, but also like able to take a step back and say, okay, that's your perspective, it's not mine. And dependent on what they say, to be strong enough to hear what they say and evaluate it and see if it makes sense for you, that's a very strong position to be in, especially mentally and emotionally. Because when someone can move your emotions, they have complete control over you. And what sense would it make to allow someone to have complete control over you that lacks emotional intelligence and they lack a pure heart? You know, it's like you don't want to allow someone who is living in a lower frequency to bring you down to where you've already graduated from. You see how it just doesn't make any sense? And when you look at it that way, you start to view the world differently, and people and their perspectives and yours and their opinions, whatever they may be. I like to hear people's opinions. It's just that sometimes people have ill intentions that support their opinions. You see, and that's when it becomes insignificant, because there's a motive behind their perspective, and it's not a supportive motive. It is a motive to tear someone down, and that's not okay, no matter how you look at it. And that just shows that somebody is weak at heart and they don't necessarily know themselves, so they'll try all these different ways to break someone down that they see has a better understanding of who they are as a person. So it's like an envy has been manifested depending on how someone reacts towards you when you just live and you're just being yourself. And that's why it's such a good idea to try your best to be composed and poised when somebody has an opinion about you. Because their opinion, it doesn't mean that it's true. And it doesn't even mean that it makes sense. It's just the fact that they came up with those calculations, and that's just their perspective, but it doesn't mean much of anything to you. Honestly, it's just what came out of their brain and what they chose to share, right? So the key is to be able to listen to criticisms, because people are going to criticize you. That's just life. That's what people do, especially when they focus more on others than themselves, because you know they lost at that point. You know how the people do that get down like that. They have whole YouTube channels talking about like trying to break people down, like the ones that, and it's like, I don't want to put shade on people, but when you really look at what be happening, like people really use the lives of others as like a mockery, instead of, if you're going to use someone else's life or experience, use it to uplift people and help them to learn something. Why you got to use it to pinpoint what's wrong all the time? And they probably don't even do that to themselves. They probably don't even like channel into what's going on with them to fix it, but they don't have no problem looking at somebody else and looking for some problems. But it's not like in an uplifting way. It's in a, oh, look at you and look at me. You know, it's like that type of, that's like funny style. That is highlighting someone, well, what may seem like someone's flaws and capitalizing off of it. That's just real whack, and it's not creative. It's just you know, really, yeah, y'all know what It's not a form of business that really comes from the soul. It's not, it's just to get by, like something just to get a piece of cash, but it has no purpose. So anyone who lives life without purpose is going to feel empty, and they're going to thrive off of belittling others, right? But there's power in being able to listen to people say crazy things about you and still stand strong, even though it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy, but the thing is that you're able to pinpoint your adversary and your soul family. Because your soul family, they understand, because they made mistakes too, and they don't be trying to like break somebody down on purpose just because they feel like it, because it's like content. If they talking about something, they talking about it because there's intention behind it, and they either gonna school you, they're gonna give you some game, or they're gonna like show you an example of what not to do and why. Like, that is love. I feel like that's coming from a place of love, because if you're gonna use someone's experience in any way, at least use it to help somebody. That's just what I think. That's just how I see things. And maybe some of you will disagree with me. I just feel like that's just, it is what it is. But yeah, your strength, it really does intimidate people. And it's just because you believe in yourself, and that goes to show how many people don't believe in themselves, and how many people put themselves down more than other people put them down. Okay. Is there anything else here, Spirit, that you want to talk about? I heard living a life without exception. Living a life without exception. Let me see what that be talking about. I said that all crazy. Let me see what that be talking about. What? Don't mind that. Just exit out. Living. I just want to type the whole thing and see what it's saying. Without exception. Living a life without exceptions generally refers to a commitment to a set of principles or values without deviation, or making special allowances for oneself or others. This can apply to various aspects of life, such as personal ethics, relationships, or even political stance. Thank you, Spirit, because I was a little stuck with that, because I never said that before. A lot of times Spirit will give me a channeled message and I don't know exactly what it means, and I would have to decode it. So I just look it up and see what the Google version of what I say, how it makes sense to me. But it absolutely does align with this message, because that's exactly what I was talking about. Being committed to your own principles and values, and not allowing yourself to deviate from them. It gives you foundation. It gives you stability. It gives you life, purpose for your life, and instruction. It's a guide. So regardless of who says what, you already know what's up. You're like, no, I have my own guide to go by. Thank you very much. You can say what you want to say. You go by your stuff, because I got my own stuff. Okay? So don't be coming over here trying to make me alter and change my stuff, because I got it just like how I like it. Okay, I got it just like how I like it. Trying to play with you like that. Don't let them play with you like that. Don't let them play with you. Don't listen. I said don't listen. Don't listen. Yeah, don't listen. Don't listen to them, because they don't know what they're chatting about anyway. Most of them don't know. You'll know when they know, because your ears will tingle. They will tingle, and you'll be like, oh, what you said? Say that again. I think I like that. That's when you know that somebody is coming from a pure place, because you could feel it. You could feel it in their energy. You could feel that they being genuine with you, and that they're not trying to like sneak attack you, because there's a lot of sneaky attackers out here. They just be sneaking and attacking. But they wouldn't do it in your face. Some would, because they just suck. And it's not even for good reason. It's not like you're attacking them. It's just like they look at you and they're like, you just look too peaceful. Let me just attack you so I can see your ugly face when you get mad. So I can see you flip your lid off the strength of something that I did, just so they can feel like they have power over your life and over your what's this? Emotes. They want you to emote for them off the strength of what they do and say to you. This is not, no, they do not have the remote to this video game. Okay? Since this matrix is like a virtual reality that we're living in, and we're just trying to get through this game of life. Okay? We're trying to play right so we can win. We can win our souls back, because people out here snatching souls. So we trying to make sure that we have complete control over our soul and consciousness out here in this piece. Okay? Because we not had no time. We not had no time. No, honey. No. If you'd like to purchase a reading from me, or if you would like to purchase a healing conversation with me to alchemize your mind, you can go to www.MNHONEYROSE.org, and you can do that there. And if you would like to purchase any of my books, they will be down below beneath this video. And if you're feeling generous and you would like to give your mystic alchemy a love offering, you can send it to my Cash App, or my Venmo, or my PayPal. I'll put the Cash App at the end of this video. It is MNHONEYROSE. Okay? All right. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next message.